Well, thank you everyone for being here today. Please remember to join her YouTube or her Patreon. I think we've covered it enough.
I think, is that all you have to say about it? That is all you have to say about it, huh?
Do we have to say anything else than that? It pretty much covers everything they've done for the past week.
Well, circus music, carnival music. Randy, I'm glad we didn't disappoint you. It is kind of fitting. Basically, we were trying to figure out how to open, and we couldn't think of a better way to open a 3-week circus with circus music, because damn.
I think we have a different way to open it. Didn't we
I
have
do.
a different way?
I do.
Maybe
you know what?
Do that.
Shall we just go to the man's words himself? Huh?
Let's see what the man has to say himself.
If we are gonna speak on the irony, because like the bear, like what do I got? The most thing that I can't stand the most is hypocrisy. Oh, and the other thing I can't stand is faulty potatoes. And let me just tell you, I'm about to throw this one right out the window. All right. Well, maybe it'll cooperate with this. Let's see what we can do.
Just think, everybody, if it doesn't cooperate, you're left with me.
Scary. Don't threaten the audience. How many times do I have to tell you? Like, that is bad. That's bad YouTube manners. Bad manners. Absolutely bad manners. Okay. Well, here's
gee, Mr. Trump, what do you got to say for yourself?
Let's hope.
Fifth Amendment. Bob. The mob takes the fifth. If you're innocent, why are you taking the Fifth Amendment?
Fifth Amendment, horrible. Horrible. Former President Trump, in a new statement, says he pleaded the Fifth Amendment today at the New York Attorney General's office.
Fifth Amendment.
Just in case you didn't hear.
The mob takes the Fifth. If you're innocent, why are you taking the Fifth Amendment?
Fifth Amendment, horrible. Horrible. Former President Trump, in a new statement, says he pleaded the Fifth Amendment today at the New York Attorney General's office.
Fifth.
Wow.
Whoops.
I mean,
Whoops.
yeah.
Yeah, baby.
I would just like to ask him one question.
And that would be,
What are you hiding, Mr. Trump?
oh, well, 11, was it 11 or was it 14?
15 bucks was worth of documents from the National Archive.
Yeah,
That's what I'm hiding.
Yeah, which the last statement that he tried to say was they brought them in with them. I know they did.
Yeah.
Under their coats, they've got those new, did you know, Quiz? They've got those new guns. You shoot it at the evidence. It makes it pocket size so that it's easier for the FBI to like stick.
We all knew that. I mean, that was on Men in
right.
Black. So we all knew they had this technology.
Mhm.
Because we all know movies are real. They're just hiding the truth.
Well, I could tell you what, orange pasty movie stars are real. This is true. This is true. I have seen it with my own eyes. Yes, I have. And orange pasty movie stars, they can become president. Yeah. No, nobody said they would do a good job, but they can become
Well, he did
president.
lousy acting, so I expected him to be a lousy president.
Yeah, I didn't know that was on my list, my bucket list, but I have seen this in my life. Yeah, cross that one off. Yeah, that happened. Yes, it did. And this also happened. There was an actual legitimately executed warrant. Like
A warrant? You can have a search warrant on a former president?
Let me, Quiz. I knew you weren't going to believe me, so you know what I did?
What'd you do?
I went and got the warrant.
No.
I fucking did. I did.
Wow.
Bear. What am I going to do? Am I going to... Look at that!
How did you get this warrant, though? Most warrants like these are sealed.
Well, here's the thing about America, like things like that. If you're going to go for something this big, you actually dot your I's and cross your T's and do it all like official. And Garrett Warren, like he went before a grand jury and he presented, what is that word? It begins with an E. The one that most of these right wingers are allergic
Ecstasy?
to. No, not that one. Not that one. The one that gives them hives, makes them sweat, turns them all red and stuttering. What's that word? It begins with an E. Come on. Oh, come on. I know somebody in the chat must know. Oh, here it is. What was I thinking? Evidence. That word.
Evidence.
Yeah, that. How you go before a grand jury, and you present your case, okay? And when you're talking about an ex-president, the highest official office in our country, okay? Do you really think that first of all, this is a career-ending move for everybody involved. Let's not be mistaken. Ain't anybody getting voted anywhere or getting anything, or, if you had a future in politics, it's over, okay, if you go this direction, which means these are actually people working in the federal government, in the FBI, in the court systems that might actually believe, in that thing, that L word was that law and order. Yeah.
Law and order. Oh.
That little thing. That little thing that was one of the foundations of our country.
Yeah, I mean, weren't the Republicans once the law and order party?
I used to think that until the first statement that they said, oh, thank you, McCarthy, because boy, way to show your ass. And yes, I'm going to point at it. And yes, I'm going to laugh. Because the first thing that Speaker of the House had to say was, if they'll go for the ex-president, what will they do to you? That came out of the mouth of the head of the Law and Order Party.
It's almost like the ex-president is just another citizen.
You would, yeah. Like, because, the last that I saw, that when you sign that oath to, be the head of our country, follow all, in the oath, Wasn't there a whole bunch of stuff about following the laws of the land and protecting the people and, doing her, all of that stuff?
Yeah.
What? Yeah, wasn't there an oath about that, like
See,
there?
I'm
And
pretty sure
then,
the oath says
yeah,
something about,
mm,
to
mm,
protect the United States from enemies,
mhm.
foreign and domestic.
There's that F word. You knew if you said that F word, you were going to send me off on another tangent, but I'm not letting you do it to me. I'm going to finish this tangent first. I got many people today. I have many. I have a whole handful of tangents, but on the first one, let's stay on our own soil for a second, if we can, because I assure you, this hot mess of a circus, it doesn't stay here. It doesn't stay right here on our
Oh
own
no.
in our own boundaries, on our own borders. It doesn't. But this warrant here was actually executed properly, and they showed them enough evidence to tell them they were allowed to go anywhere and do anything. Yeah.
So where did they go exactly?
Well, they went to Mar-a-Lago, where he lives. Okay, and they
Oh,
gave
they
them
raided his
permission.
home?
Yes, and all that bullshit about him saying they were upsetting all the people who were staying there. No, the warrant clearly states that where people were actually paying to be guests in the paid rooms of Mar-a-Lago, it's like a resort, right? That they were not to interfere in that area at all. They didn't go into any of that place. They just went where
They
he.
could have got around that just by going golfing with him.
They could, he's cheap, man. You just throw him a golf ball and playing. Yeah, they could have.
Yum, yum,
But
yum,
no,
yum,
they
yum, yum, yum.
didn't. Yeah, I know, but they didn't, and they didn't go into do it. They didn't do that. All that bullshit about them disrupting business or whatever. Yeah, it looks bad. That is going to disrupt business, but that's not their fault. They're not the one that had all those boxes. They are not the ones that were in negotiation to return those boxes since you left the
Wait,
office and they knew what
wait,
you
hold
did.
on, hold on, hold on, hold on. I'm sorry. So somebody had a bunch of documents that they shouldn't have had,
Well,
and they were asked to return them. And instead of returning them, they were negotiating on what they wanted to return.
they were negotiating on the how and the when and the why. Yes. And let me play the other side of it, because we want to be fair here. I don't want to be accused of being biased or anything. Like, you can accuse me of being a snarky ass bitch today. You can do that, because I'll own that shit, but I won't be biased about it. Let's just say there was a misunderstanding in regards to how these things should be appropriated or used by an ex official of the government. Even though during the presidency in 2017, they actually officially put it all in memos. Oh, damn. Do I have those too?
Do
You know,
you?
I freaking do. I
Oh
do.
my goodness!
Not only do I have the warrant, because, I'm not going to have an opinion just based on, an inkling I have about they knew better. I'll just say that when you bothered to actually, hold on, wrong one. You can't start with page 3. Let me give you a piece of advice there. You can't start with page 3. It's just not right.
Mrs. Cassandra, I am never in control. That's the secret. Go ahead.
I wish this would play them all in order, but it won't. Oh, look here, Chris. Let me just help you. Does this look like a memorandum from 2017 to the White House? Does
Wow.
it? Would it be about how to secure documents, to remind all personnel of their obligation to preserve and maintain presidential records as required by the Presidential Records Act, the PRA? Yes.
Do you mean there's actually a law about preserving the records of the president? I wonder. I mean, how much time do you get for breaking a law like that?
Oh God, you want me to pull up the sentencing requirements too? Like, no, I ain't going there yet. I'm not ready. I'm not
Oh,
ready.
okay,
I'm
sorry.
not ready. We're not going to jump into future desires and wishes yet. Let's stay on the game plan and just talk about how we got here, okay? But actually, I would say it's pretty darn difficult to say I didn't know what I was supposed to do, which is what is being claimed out there. Okay. I won't say by who, because it's by many, actually. It's a rhetoric that's being repeated. Well, it had my signature on it. It's mine. I know what to do with it. I didn't know I was supposed to put everything that a president does in the National Archives, because that's what we've done since the very first president that we've had. I didn't know that I was supposed to actually do like every other scenario that's happened before in a presidency and have everything documented, for prosperity in perpetuity, because history is important. Okay. And I didn't know that that's not a defense of the law. Hello,
Really?
Law and Order Party. Did you know that
Ignorance is not a defense of the law?
there's that I word? You see, I've got the F's, I got the I's. Like, we're going there with the alphabet today, people. There's that other word
I
for the
can't wait
day.
till we get to G.
Shut up. Ignorance. Stop that. You're trying so hard to throw me off into the chat, and I'm not going. Nope. I'm sticking with the word ignorance, and I'm saying ignorance. Ignorance, people, is not a defense when a law is broken. Ignorance of the law is never allowed in the courtroom or anywhere in any official capacity.
Especially when you've been told what the law is.
Especially when you wrote the damn memorandums underneath your chief officers on how it should be done because you thought there was a problem because somebody got caught with something in a place that it shouldn't be, which happened. Did you know that there was already several officials during that presidency that are already charged for mishandling of papers? Did you know that people get charged with this every day?
Oh, yeah.
Mhm. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This isn't new. What's new is
And what?
thinking that you're above the law, that it can't happen to you, that you're allowed to do it.
Yeah, let's be honest about this. It's not that I mean, they don't get into great trouble. A lot of them don't. They get slapped on the
Mhm.
wrists and told, be a little bit more careful. But when you take home 30 boxes of documents,
Exactly.
it's kind of hard to just say it was a mistake.
True. And
Hmm.
telling you, and here, and mhm. Yeah, I'd say, you know what, Turtle, you're right. Thank you, Turtle Moose, because you also are trying to throw me off my game out here because that's some funny stuff you're putting in the chat, and I do agree with you. Yes, it is true. I did hear that rumor that the head of the FBI is no longer on Donnie's Christmas card list. Yeah,
I don't
he booted.
understand why.
He booted them all the way back to Mueller, right? Like they've not been friends for a while. Yeah.
Well,
Yes, they did. Yeah, they've not been
with
friends.
how they prosecuted him through this whole term as president, I can kind of understand that.
I do. And also, and I know I'm being a little hard on. I agree with you, chat. This memorandum, it was 3 pages long, which I'm not going to bother to bring the rest of it. Just the opening on what it's about should have been enough. It got circulated everywhere, all the way back at the beginning of the presidency. It got written and directed underneath the president's administration's office. Like, it didn't come from some small little dusty room off on some wing on the other side of the White House. This came directly right out of the fucking operations room.
I have
Under
a
the eyes of the
question.
president.
Because
Yeah.
didn't the president say he didn't know about, how he's not supposed to take things home? And at the same time, wasn't it the president who, in an executive order, raised the amount of time served or called on a law for raising the amount of time served for people who did this exact thing from 1 year to 5 years?
Yep.
How does he not remember that?
This is, you know what? I don't know. And you know what? People will say, well, how do you expect him to hold all this together? Well, he does have, educated people around him. But from what I've seen, just recently we were covering the January 6th hearings. And even on that, he had educated people around him that were trying to actually give him good advice. They just ignored it. So I don't know what it is here. I hate to think that someone of this stature that's been president would actually think that they're above the law, but it is kind of looking like that with all the whining and whinging that's going on right now. Because if he truly believes that he didn't do anything wrong by removing these documents, then that's fine. They're getting them back, maybe all right, let me take the high road here and just say perhaps there's a misunderstanding in what he should have been doing with all of this stuff. All 15 boxes. Yeah.
30.
Stop.
They got 30 back in June, so
Okay.
15 back in June, so they got another 15
Oh,
still
yeah,
there.
because that part didn't hit the press. You all may not be aware of that. He's already returned more than half of the documents that he removed from the house. It's not just.
Oh no! Wait a minute!
Not
No,
just
no,
these.
no.
Yeah.
He didn't return them.
Oh no.
The National Archives had to go down and get them.
Yeah, but let's say he let them in to
Yes,
get their
okay.
stuff. He opened the door. He let them in to find the missing things that they were looking for on his premises, and took them back. He put them back and tucked them in nicely where they should be in the National Archives, But somehow or another, all of these boxes got missing from that, even though his lawyer signed a piece of paper way back then in June that said, we have returned everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
If they returned everything, how was this here? And please, nobody in the chat, don't tell me that like the FBI just brought it with them and dumped it there. Because I don't really think you could get a warrant against an ex-president of this nation if you didn't actually have the evidence that it was there. And here's the other thing. Somebody on the inside is sending the FBI video of where the boxes were and that they moved up this, and actually that is kind of in quotes everywhere that I read it. So I'm not sure that this is fact because I haven't seen the video, but I will say that there was several articles that I read that were alluding to the fact that somebody there is actually so upset about this and what was going on and what was going to happen. Although they haven't said what was going to happen, the boxes were in the process of being moved. All the documentation was in the process of being either destroyed so that no evidence of whatever is going on would be there, and or they were going to be turned over. Now that's that term, turned over, that may or may not have been used in actually what they presented as evidence to the grand jury. Because this is why we're getting things of what was in that box. Well, what was in that box? What was in this box? What's in box number 4? What's in box number 8? Lots and lots of stuff that we don't want anybody else to have. There's nuclear weaponry.
They actually found top secret documents too?
And funny thing, they're all marked with that stamp. You know that thing? Everybody makes fun of it. It's in the cartoons, whatever, and it says
your eyes only or eyes only and all that. Wow.
Yeah. The big red stamp that goes on here of all levels. And it wasn't just one level of top secret documentary that was here. It was like all levels that you could think of, like even the top stuff, regular stuff, stuff that should be archived, I'm telling you.
Yeah, but I heard a rumor that early in Trump's administration, he said any documents that he took out of the Oval Office and into his residence would immediately be declassified. So it was okay for him to take the documents out of the White House and take them to Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah, well, he forgot to do that as executive order before he left the office. He forgot to actually make that law where you just say the word declassified and boom, everything gets declassified.
So he never actually codified the so-called law of his?
Well, I'm not sure you could spell codified, let alone know what the hell it means. But yeah, that. Yeah, that. Yes. Yes. That would be it. Yes, Commander. And top secret isn't even the highest level of secrecy as far as security clearances go. It's just the highest level that has been declassified. Yet, yes, it is true. When they say in defense of these 15 boxes being somewhere they shouldn't have been, unprotected and open to eyes, okay, when they say in defense that, well, a president can declassify anything he wants. He has that power. Yes, he does, up to a certain level. Okay. But this is America. Even the highest level of government is not above checks and balances. And no, there are certain levels that no, he cannot. Okay. Because, been there, done that. Remember Nixon? Remember all that? Like, you really think we went through that and we didn't make a way that we could actually keep eyes on who is supposed to be the face of America out there for the rest of the world? Okay. You think we're not watching it? Come on. That would be silly, That would be kind of silly. But no, I don't think that the highest level of security can be lifted by the word declassification. And I know damn well it doesn't automatically get lifted just because you utter the word in defense as they're walking out with 15 boxes you're not supposed to have. Like, no, that didn't happen. Apparently, if he was in the process of doing it, again, he failed to actually follow a process that would prevent any of this for his, shall we say, his belief that he doesn't have to follow these kind of rules like everybody else. I don't know. Do you want to go there?
Well, when his mistake was when he took the oath of office, he thought he was being sworn in as king. It's a natural mistake. I mean, it
That's
says
right.
president, but it sounds like king.
It does not. I don't hear king. I don't hear king. But anyway, no, I do know that he did want it to be more like that. Yeah, democracy, schmocracy. Yes, I think I heard him say that. But anyway, it's just another example of the rules do not apply because everything he was doing in office, he didn't want to do anything. Security clearances for my staff. Hey, they don't need them. I said they're okay. Like, yeah, that. Yeah. Let's not forget. That's the problem with being a bear. You just don't forget this stuff. It's all in there. And I don't know what to do with it.
Kind of like when he says, you mean those people with guns? Oh, they're not here for me. It's okay to let them in.
I'm telling you. Yep.
So, what were people's reaction when they found out that the president or the ex-president had been raided? I'm sure there were a lot of people going, oh, really? I wonder what he did.
Okay, wait, let's answer this one. This sounds like fun. Okay. Hello, Loud. Nice to meet you. I'm Bear. How long will the president, how long is Trump going to be your scapegoat? He ain't my scapegoat. No. But I can speak on it. Having been and lived through that presidency, I think I have the right, And,
No. We don't have the right. Only certain people in this United States have the right to express their opinions, and we're not of them, apparently.
And he is still all you talk about. Apparently, you haven't seen my channel. Why don't you go watch some of the naked shows, or maybe the Am I the Asshole or whatever?
Yeah, swing on by Mayhem. We'd like to talk to you naked.
And you know what? I'm sure this is all right. Let me just address this as somebody who's actually tired of hearing it. Let me just address this for anyone else who would like to comment me about this, or anyone else. You say it's all we want to talk about. How about, why don't you just turn that camera around a little bit? Like, who the hell is putting himself into press every other day? Who the hell is walking around with a press team, actually making every statement that comes out of their mouth try to be newsworthy? Who the hell is doing that? Like you say, why are we still talking about it? Why does he still want to be talked about? He did not go quietly out into the night. He still wants to be an active candidate. And you know what? We are going to talk about somebody who was president. We talk about all of them. You want to make it about one man? You're just trying to deflect. This is serious. This is about law and order, entitlement. Okay, this is about something actually being handled. Now, if he did nothing wrong, you would not be upset about anybody talking about it, and neither would he. Okay, let's be
Okay, hold on.
let's be clear about that. And so,
Loud
like, I don't want
has
to
a
go
point
for you.
though. Loud has
Yeah.
a small point. It's all because the media focuses on Trump.
Yes. Oh, and it might be every other 10 and
Just
15
like
minute
just
interview
like
that
the
he does
reason the
every day.
COVID numbers
Yeah.
kept going up was because they kept testing. If they would stop testing, the COVID
Mm-hmm.
numbers would go down. And if we would just stop paying attention to Trump, he wouldn't be in the news. I mean, he would still be
Mm-hmm.
leading insurrections and still be breaking laws, but
When,
it wouldn't be in the news. All we have to do is
you know what?
stop paying attention for problems to
Mhm,
fucking go away in this country, because that's
mhm,
what we've done for the last fucking
mhm.
50 years, and look what it's led us to. So Loud,
Yeah,
do me a
sorry.
favor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Take your ass out the door.
No, you can stay because I want to answer this. When was the last time I talked about Biden? I will. As soon as I find 15 boxes of classified documents in his office. As soon as everybody comes into my chat and says he didn't do anything wrong. Okay, I will, because you know what? He doesn't have hearings about his actual lack of reality understanding going on. That's what I'm talking about, because you're not going to come at me like I'm some fucking left-wing extremist and I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, because I'm not. I'm an independent with a brain that recognize fucking shit-stirring goddamn bullshit in my chat when I see it. So you got the conversation you wanted. You did get me to address you. Now I will ask you, start talking facts, start talking like you know what the fuck is going on, or excuse yourself from the conversation, because this isn't about dogpiling. This is about something that's going on in our country that needs to be talked about. And if you ain't up for the conversation, okay, leave. Because I'm not actually going to say we're not allowed to talk about it because he was the president. Because there were a lot of fucking presidents and we talked about them all. And you know what? Yeah, I think Biden's too old. I think Biden's being too soft. So what? That ain't the issue here. You're deflecting because you don't want the conversation to happen. But it's going to happen. You can be part of it or you can leave. That's it. All right. So that's what I have to say about that. And don't tell me that I'm just harping on Trump. You won't find a bunch of shit on my channel about that. You won't even find me out there, ringing that bell and all that other shit that people are. Know who the fuck you're talking to before you start shit when you come to somebody's channel.
Maybe you should
My
have.
advice.
Maybe.
Oh, and by
Claire,
the way, how about coming in here as yourself instead of some fucking sock with a big mouth and something to say that you won't say as yourself? Because that's me up here. Yeah, that's me.
and
My
I'm
real
me,
name. Okay.
Claire.
Yeah.
Maybe you should have done something on the Depp trial
Yes, maybe,
or
maybe,
Masterson
maybe,
or
or maybe
Scientology.
Masterson or any of that, because hey, I'm a little hot
It's
and under
just
the
too
collar.
bad all you ever talk about is Trump, because we haven't
Yeah.
talked about Trump since, well, a month ago when
Mhm.
the sessions ended. But I'm
Mhm.
sorry. What have we been doing for this past month?
It's great. We don't need you here, babe, because we're here with our real names. You're calling us fake ass people as you're on a sock. That's fucking not only hypocritical, ironic, and fucking funniest thing I've heard today. Oh, let me help you with that. Can I do that for you? Let me just help you with this, because I also think you're one of those kind of people that's going to keep telling me you're leaving and telling me you're leaving and then don't go. So let me help you. There you go. Wish granted.
Bye.
See ya.
Don't let the door hit you on the ass on the way out.
Yeah. All right. I'm not actually upset, Spooky, but I'm not going to have anybody come at me like I'm some biased person that doesn't know what the hell. Right? Listen, let me just tell you, nobody's going to come and tell me I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Yeah. This is the best way to get this bear to go Jersey on your ass. Come at me. Come at me with that shit. I censored a sock, Beardy. Don't start with me. Yes, I did. Bear is guilty of censoring a sock. Somebody who didn't have the balls to come in here with their real name. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. What do you got to say about that? I did it. All right. Anyway, so as we carry on, anybody else have an objection to me actually addressing the issue at hand? But anyway, I hope he runs over there to those Q conspiracy people and tells them how awful I am. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, that should be good. Mm. It's true, John. Trolls are going to troll, and you really shouldn't let them get under your skin. But you know what? I've had to hear a lot about this since I've covered the January 6th um,
Commission hearings.
commission hearings, and all I'm doing is putting it out there for the people to hear. And I'm trying to, I think we're being fair about it too. We do make jokes and we do laugh, but hey, don't come. Don't come.
But we also present that E word, shit.
Mm. Yeah, well,
the stuff that makes things sound true. Evidence.
Oh, yeah. Well, they didn't have any of that. Yeah, I'm all right, Spooky. Don't worry about me, man. I can let it roll. I'll be a duck. No, well, a beard. I'll pretend to be a duck. I'll let it roll off my back. There you go. Robsky, you know what? We might have met him in other chats. You never know. He could be a creationist. I'll bet you he's a Hovind fan. He's got a card carrying Walsh card too, man. I'll bet you he subscribes to the church about Walsh or fucking Peterson or Shapiro, like you name it. Well, anyway, maybe he was one of Dick Dawson's cousins. Not Dawson, Dawkins. I didn't say Dawson. I said Dawkins. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. And it doesn't matter because I welcome people that support Trump. If you want to support him, right, try talking to him about being honest for something. And, let's just, if this is going to be, like they say, an issue about, like we're supposedly dogpiling on them, I don't really think so. I really don't. Why would it have taken this long if that was it? It would have been the whole thing,
It's really hard to say that we're piling on him when Trump has got the majority of the GOP standing out there saying he didn't do it. Oh, wait. Okay, so he took them home, but let's remember that he doesn't work from home, so they were just sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
Or why not just say he took them from home, but he can't read? He just looks at the pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Or my favorite was he took them home, but, Obama had 30 million of them in his library. The problem with these people is when they just tell you half the truth, it sounds horrible. Right. What they didn't tell you about Obama's library is it's run by the National fucking Archive.
You mean Obama's library was actually run by the people that protect the documents to begin with and only put in that library what was already declassified and open for public view? You mean that? Like a fact? Oh, God,
yeah, like Loud9 said, these people.
Welcome back, Loud. Can't you use your real name, Boo Boo? Anyway. This one's gonna be fun.
I never get to do that.
Yeah, you know what? Let them talk. Let's just I tell you what. Let's practice adulthood here. Let's let them talk and let's let them make an ass out of themselves. Let's just ignore the fuck out of them. I'll pay attention when they say something that's actually worthy of listening to because hey, I hope you're having fun.
Hey, he's back.
Mm-hmm.
I was bootlicking Obama because I mentioned the Obama library that's run by.
Oh yeah, that's bootlicking.
Oh wait. The National Archive.
Okay. Wait a minute, Loud. Maybe you should give us the list of what we should be, because you're so good at this. Where's your fucking channel? What's your name? What should we be talking about?
I got to answer Loud on this. Deflection, he said, "Guess you loved Obama, huh?" Loud. I have never loved Obama. Not that I would if I wasn't given a chance. Yeah, he's a handsome man.
I heard he was highly educated too, well spoken.
I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying he's a handsome man.
No, we're not saying that you're not. Listen, it's just that when you don't want to, you're trying to tell us that this is a dogpiling and if you don't see the issue of law and order when it comes to these documents and what just happened, then I can't help you. Because if it wasn't Trump and anybody else, you'd be banging a goddamn drum, or at least I hope you would be. Okay, because this was serious. This is someone who put out protocol on how to handle everything, actually submitted it all throughout his office because he knew there was a problem, and then chose not to do it himself. Okay. If you don't see a problem with that, I can't help you, because I don't care who it is. Trump, Biden, anybody. If anybody did this, it would be the same conversation. And I'm sorry you don't understand that. And I'm sorry that you don't want to have that conversation. You'd rather us just not talk about it because we're dogpiling or we're ganging up on something. But we're not. This is all over. And this isn't even the media doing it. Because if you actually looked at the numbers on the media, Mr. Deflector, okay, Mr. Deflection, Mr. Mrs. whoever. If you actually look at what the media is doing, they're trying to bury it. Some of them are coming out with it, and other ones are just totally glossing over it or burying it. There's two sides to the stories out there with the media, because, the media is bought anyway. Like, right? Is that the next thing you're going to say? But, it's not bought by the Democrats, and that's been proven. Rupert is not the Democrat. Did you forget that, Loud? Murdoch's not a Democrat.
Maybe Lon doesn't understand, but I saw
Neither
on
is
Fox
where the
News
money
when
in
they
the
said,
United.
I saw Steve Doocy on Fox News actually say that the president himself has caused some of this problem. So I'm just saying.
Exactly.
I guess it's the media that's doing Trump. Oh my God.
Because there is that saying, Loud, and maybe you forgot about it. You don't want to smell shit, don't walk in it. Yeah. There's that. Anyway, no, you say like we're just always
he called me a
talking.
rainbow warrior.
Yeah.
How lovely.
I'm telling you, I don't hate Democrats. I don't hate Republicans either. What I do want is, I do hate people trying to tell me what I'm talking about and trying to steal over my stream to make it about them and whatever they want to talk about. So I'll tell you what, why don't you just listen and let us do our thing? Oh God. I'm going to keep you busy. Go make another sock. Go make another one. Don't forget, there's 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and 2, and 1 to use before you get an IP block. But don't forget, every time I block you, there's also that report out there about your issues. Yeah, just so you know.
Could you bring a fresh sock?
Yeah, this stinky one's getting me. Anyway,
I mean, I'm just saying, it would be nice to have a fresh sock.
As entertaining as it is to play with something, that atrocious, like, and I'm actually amused right now. I'm like, I'm feeling my piss and vinegar because that's actually kind of amusing the fuck out of me.
He brought his attention onto me. I didn't turn my attention to him. Do I need a waiver for him?
I know that, Bearded. You know what? I get that we are a mess, and I'll give that to you. And England has every right to look at us right now and say we've got a lot going on, but theirs is worse because, hey, that makes you feel good too. But, we're younger. You should know better. You've had a lot longer experience at keeping your shit straight, and you haven't. So don't come for me. We're still learning. We're still learning. I'm gonna take that line. I'm gonna follow that. It's all mess. When it comes to politics, it's all fucked up. They all think they have their own special set of rules, And that's really what I wanted to talk about here, is that no one is above law and order.
Not even an ex-president?
No, not even the next one or the one after that. And that is why this is important. Okay, because if we don't, like, let's just say, all right, let me play devil's advocate here. You can come for me, Quiz. Like, this will be like a little mini, let's play Ma and Pa try to discuss politics at the dinner table. Okay, here we go.
I have to be Pa?
Yes, you do. I'm just, yes, because I don't care. You want me to be Pa? I'll be Pa.
No. You be Pa. I mean, you be Ma. I'll be Pa.
So, okay. So I'm going to say, well, gosh, he's the president. He deserves more respect than this. He was an ex-president.
Well, hold on, honey.
We really should be
He's the ex-president.
Listen, mofo, don't honey me. You could be Pa, but don't fucking honey me. Anyway, listen, we should be more respectful to the office, the highest office of the land, like the office of law and order, where everything starts and everything, like they're in charge of everything, and we should be respectful. How could we possibly expect them to follow the rules of the land?
Well, dear, I kind of agree with that, but he isn't the president right now.
This is true. What happens? Oh, Dan, honey.
Don't call me honey.
Would you please explain to me how that is? He's not the
Well,
president
you
anymore.
see, even though way back in November he tried to overturn an election and then caused a riot in the Capitol and tried to get them to overturn the election. On January 21st at noon, when the new president, that old guy with the hair, and he's always saying, "Come on, man." Well, when he raised his hand and put his other hand on a book and said, "I swear to do this job to the best of my ability," well, the other guy, the orange one, who's not as old as the new one with the white hair and always saying, "Man," well, the orange one doesn't, he loses his job. His job stops. He's no longer president. He's former president or ex-president, but he's not president. Oh, I get him.
Granny and Gray toy. That's right. Okay. Yes, I am. Yeah. Is that all you got? Boo,
Yeah,
take your
well,
dick- take your dick out of your mouth before you come back on another sock, would you? All right. Anyway, well, on that line, let me just say, Paul, like, I do. He is a former president. I get that, but you know, is it they say that when they protest too much, when they speak so loud that they don't want you looking at something, that there just might be something there? It just might be. We might be
Should we
onto
invite
something.
John in and let him do this next one?
Mrs. Cassandra, instead of going to the delete message, go right to the block. Let's keep this mofo busy. Let them make as many socks as they want. I want you to block mods, block every single one that comes in, because first of all, if Granny is an insult, I'll own that. I do have a grandchild, but don't come in here with any of that shit like you're going to slander people on their preferences and shit like that.
Oh, I don't mind. You want to call me gay? Honey, I'll accept it. I am gay.
Yeah,
But
true.
I'll
Like,
also kick your ass and send you home so you can tell your daddy that a motherfucking gay just kicked your ass.
yeah, but you see, they can't because they're on a sock. It's not like they have the actual ability to say what they mean as themselves, because this is all just rhetoric, bullshit, total line. Proud of them. Yeah. Yes, definitely. Herpes keeps flaring up today. This is true. Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you, Monkey. Yeah. And I'm sorry that we're derailing this stream by playing with this troll, but it is kind of funny. I'm actually glad to see it like actually out here in public instead of in my DMs with all these
Thank
damn
you,
socks for a chain. It's kind of nice. Like, they're refreshingly. They put it out in the air for you all to see. It is quite entertaining, I'll tell you that. Yep.
So,
Yep.
yeah, I mean, I don't mind giving ex-presidents even a little bit more respect than other people. That I don't mind. I mean, I also think that ex-presidents should also be protected because, you don't want a foreign government stealing the next president because they do know some shit that, the rest of us don't know.
Mm-hmm.
What I don't appreciate is when
Yes.
ex-presidents are doing stuff that they know they shouldn't be doing. And not only do they know they shouldn't be doing it, but they put out a memo on how they shouldn't do it, and yet they don't even follow their own words. Here's a problem. I have a problem with that. I have a bigger problem with when you find nuclear documents above top secret documents in their possession. And then people make excuses saying, well, Trump doesn't read that shit anyway. What does it matter? He took it out of a safe place and put it in Mar-a-Lago.
This is true. In a public area where he is open for business and everybody comes and goes. There's no security. I mean, granted, there's some security. He did have it in his flag. I'll give him that. Okay, but there was also video all the time of what they were doing with it and everything like that. But here's the thing. If you're in negotiation for the boxes, if this is such a big deal and it's nothing, it's a nothing burger. If this is a nothing burger, like they're trying to say, like our friend Asak is trying to put out there in rhetoric all over the place, that we shouldn't be talking about it because it's nothing. Okay, it's absolutely nothing but a news story to try to make him look bad. Why the hell didn't he do the right thing? Why the hell didn't he go as he intended to, go up there and go and have his little meeting with everybody in the National Archives and get everything declassified, go over everything that he had, okay, and work it out so that it wasn't an issue and made a news story. So either he wants the news story because, you know, he can work the PR. I will tell you that this man is a PR machine. Okay, maybe he wanted the news story. Maybe he thought this issue about law and order would become such a big thing that it would just propel him into the next presidency. Maybe that, you know, I mean, we could play both sides of this, you know, quite easily. You know, maybe
And
that.
I'm just going to comment.
If you don't actually want to end up in an orange jumpsuit, okay, how about if it's really that big of a fence? And I'm sorry, nuclear weaponry projects, plans, and what our protocols are serious ass shit. That's serious. If you're in my chat acting like that don't matter, I can't help you. If you're more worried about Granny and Gay, as you said, speaking on it, you got some serious issues. You need to wake up. You need to wake up because the issue is not that it's Trump. The issue is that they think that they're above the law about it, that they're willing to put our country at risk to save face. Okay, there's more of us that need to be protected than the reputation of the orange one. And yeah, I'm going to say it like that because you're pissing me off. You want me to be like that? I can be like that. You know,
I got to answer
I can make
something
fun of them.
I got to answer something that Commander just said in chat. And I'm not picking on you, Commander. It's just that respect is earned. Trump deserves no respect because he is a Democrat. And you change nothing else about his behavior or what he accomplished, conservatives would call him the Antichrist. And I will say this. If it was a Democrat in this position, I would be yelling my head off still.
I would too.
I would still be saying this guy's a freaking idiot. An idiot.
And here's the thing.
I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican. I don't care if you're orange, white, black, red, or yellow. You do not treat the office of the presidency like this. There are some of us who give a shit.
No,
you want to act like an ass as a president, expect people to come at you.
First of all,
that's what's going to happen.
You took the most visible office that there is in the land. Everything, all the eyes are going to be on you, and you wanted it and you coveted it. And here, I agree in a way about what Commander is saying, and I'm gonna play it on the fence. I'm going to stick that picket right up my ass, and I'm going to be right here in the middle on it. I am. And I'm going to own it too, because here's the thing. I respect the office. I absolutely do. That's why I have a freaking problem with what just happened. I do. I respect the office of the presidency. That I really, really do. Okay. The man that is in the office, he's got to earn my respect. Okay. When you put yourself in that office, you do not put yourself in that office that we don't get to say anything about it. This is not, like you said, this is not regality here. This is democracy. That's not a king. It's a president. And a president is supposed to be elected by the people and for the people. All the oaths don't say, do what you want, what you think is best. They say, do and operate for the people. Be the voice of the people. Be regulate people. Protect the people. Okay. Yeah. When we see that someone that held the office of great respect is out there disrespecting the office, why wouldn't we speak on it? Okay. That's what's good for the country. All right. You want us to do what's best for the man. His reputation is not my concern. Okay. His future as a politician is not my concern. My concern, as it should be for everyone, including our favorite troll Loud in there, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. What your concern should be is for the greater good. If you want to spout off for more than the man. Okay, if you want to get behind your politics, speak on your politics. Okay, speak on what is good for the country in regards to your political stand. I would listen to that, but I won't listen to stuff that we can't talk about this man, because it's disrespectful. Sorry, this
Oh,
man
it's
has
Beaver's
done
unit.
very disrespectful things in regards to the handling of this situation already. Okay, I opened it up with a clip that actually proved in his own words when everybody else claimed the fifth, he accused them all of being criminals. He told them all that it was mob style to plead the fifth. He said, you only plead the fifth when you have something to hide. You only plead the fifth when saying what you have to say is going to get you in trouble. These are his words, not mine. Forgive me for reminding you, okay, of the hypocrisy of him walking into the federal office and saying, I plead the fifth. You don't think that we should say anything about that? We're supposed to turn a blind eye like that didn't happen. That's funny shit. And I like funny shit, and I like to point out hypocrisy and misinformation. And this stuff is a 3-ring circus full of it. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I don't find it to be disrespectful to talk about the situation. Hey, this guy had 15 boxes that didn't belong to him. And the
30.
government wants them. Okay, 30. All right, stop. All right. Although this guy had boxes. Okay, that's the new. This guy had boxes that don't belong to him, and they want them back. He didn't want to give them back. He tried to negotiate back and forth and still didn't do everything under his power that he had the right to do. Okay, to make it not a situation. He let the situation happen. He let it get this far without doing the right thing. Then he wants to claim that he could have done the right thing and that maybe he did do the right thing, but it's not there. He did not declassify the documents. He did not have a right to have them there. It's not a oops, I forgot. Okay, come on. It's not that. It's not oops, I forgot to declassify them. It's a oops, I'm entitled and I got caught. It's oops, I act like the law doesn't apply to me and I got caught. That's what it is. I mean, that's what glaringly it is. And you don't have anything besides your rhetoric to show me that it's not.
And I want to reinforce something here. As
I'm
I
sorry,
said
Beaver.
in the
You
January
can't put
6th,
out a false. You cannot go before a grand jury and issue a false warrant. I understand that you want to put the other side of the story out there, and I do understand what they're saying out there. But it is impossible, okay, for you to go before a grand jury and produce a false warrant. You're going
okay,
to
hold on,
say
hold on.
that everybody is actually colluding against one man for this. And I'm sorry, I can't. And I love you, girl. I really do. But I'm
Mrs.
not going to
Beaver,
have
no,
that. Mm-mm.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. You're wrong on this. Presidents do not take home boxes of papers.
They
Because
want me to believe that
when
happened.
you are
Yeah.
president, everything you touch and do belongs to the country and is supposed to stay with the country. You don't even do your own books, you don't drive, you don't have your credit cards. Well, you're not supposed to. You don't do anything.
It's all
You are
supposed to
supposed
be
to be
documented
president.
in the National
Period.
Archive.
Everything is
All of it.
documented.
All of
Your
it's
phone
documented.
calls are all recorded. Everything is done now.
Because I understand where you're
Everything
coming from.
stays everything stays in the National Archive, or it gets released back to your presidential library, which is run by the National Archive, so you can show certain things that you did while you were president. But you do not get to say, well, these top secret for your eyes only documents, I'm just going to say, they're not classified anymore. I don't care if they're national secrets about nuclear weapons. I'm going to take them because I want them in my presidential library. Well, I got news for you. You're going to get the FBI to come in and take them away from you because you do not own those. The American people do. The National Archives do. We have to protect certain documents. We have to protect certain secrets. Otherwise, this world would be one big hell pit and we would all be dead by now.
I know, and I get that, quiz, and that's why those things are things. They would like us, and thank you, Beaver. Your opinion you can say it. I agree. I love you too. I'm not going to get into a match about, he says she, all of that with you, because we do respect each other enough not to do that. And we're all going to stay respectful on it, including the chat. Nobody's going to go for anybody because that opinion can be valued. I know that people are out there saying that, but here is a fact, and you know me not to lie or misrepresent. Okay. And I've looked at both sides of it. The fact is there is a procedure that needed to be followed and it wasn't. The fact is those documents do not belong to the president. He's allowed to have copies, whatever, they could be declassified. They must stay within the realms of the National Archive. They need to be there. And what he did by circumventing that process is made it that there would be a gap in our history in regards to the archives. And that is untenable. There's no reason for it. He's not above the law like that. So I agree with some of what you're saying, but you cannot misrepresent that is an illegal warrant. It's not. Okay. It's not. They can't go before a grand jury. It wasn't just a judge. I would agree with you if it was just one man. Maybe he could be bought. Maybe he could be pushed. Maybe he didn't like the president. I get what you're saying, but that's not what happened. They had to come with a case, an evidential case as to why. And to think that they would do it just to bother him or just to get at him is ridiculous, because so many people would have to be involved. You know what I mean? So, like, I'm not trying to diss or anything like that. I'm just saying, please, the facts are the law was broken. And the other fact is no one's above it. That's my stance. I don't care if it's Trump. I don't care if it's my brother. Okay. My daughter, my grandchild. Okay. Fact is, law was broken. Yep. Everybody has to follow the law. The law is not the law if there are exceptions to it and who has to pay it. Okay. That's just not the way it goes. Okay. So everybody's just upset because this is your guy, right? This isn't about Republican and Democrat. This isn't about that. That's not what my stream's about. My stream is about him turning this into a 3-ring circus with his own words. And if you can't see the irony in that, I'm sorry. It's funny as hell to watch the man try to spin this when it's so simple to just handle it appropriately, but he chose not to do. Yes, right. It's my country too. And I want law and order. He's not above it. If the warrant is false, it will come out in court. If the warrant has no substance or teeth and there's nothing here, nothing will happen, will it? Listen, I don't want it overtaken by the government either, but how can we not actually ask a president to actually abide by the law? Asking people to follow law and order is not being overtaken by government. This has nothing to do with government when I'm talking law and order.
I don't understand how you can say, I don't want our country not to be overtaken by the government. What do you mean? Because
people,
every country has to have a government.
No, we do.
There has to be something there to call it a country.
No government. Wait, back down. She didn't say no government. She said overtaken. That's a popular stance by many people in our country, and you know it, because they think the government interferes too much in our lives. I might even have an agreement there when we overregulate things and we make it untenable to follow laws.
Kind of like when they say you're not allowed, or you're not allowed to have abortions.
True. Now that's
but then they go back and say, but you're also allowed to, you can't take our guns because that's too much government control. It's okay if you take our uteruses, but not our guns.
I get that, but that, and I get that. That is exactly what they're saying also. So like, you can't attack them on that, they said overtake by government. They didn't say they didn't want a government. Nobody said that. I don't think anybody's foolish enough to believe that we don't need a government to rule a country, Exactly. And we're not going to talk about that. I know it's not part of the issue here today. Law and order is absolutely, and talking about that. And you know what? I know we were going to try not to let this be a heated conversation, but there's really no way for it not to be. And we kind of knew that. So which is why we came out with humor first, because we were trying to look at the irony and the hypocrisy of it. And most of the people that come to my channel will get that. And most of the people will kind of go with it, that it is a top news organ. But then when you have people telling you can't talk about it, or that it's not an issue, it's not up for debate, there's nothing there. Well, I have an issue with that, because I think there is a lot there. You know, I really do.
Yeah.
I really do.
I think
Okay.
people forget a lot about
Wait.
how our
All right.
government was formed,
Okay.
and then
Mhm.
how it's run. And if you want me
Mhm.
to talk about the Second Amendment, I'd say you need to become an
Mhm.
English teacher and remember that there are commas in that, and it clearly states that they were talking about the
Mhm.
militia who has the right to keep and bear
Mhm.
arms, and yet that
Mhm.
goes away as soon as we have a national militia called, I forget, what was it called, the United States Army, the Air Force, the Marines. That's our militia now. I'm not taking away your Second Amendment right.
Right.
The right just went away because we no longer have a use for people to say, well, I need my guns. What happens if somebody invades the United States? Well, I got news for you. Here's what's going to happen
Mhm.
if somebody invades the United States. The United States
Mhm.
military is going to kick their fucking ass. We have that. That's what we have now.
Mhm. This
I
is
don't
true.
need people don't need an AR-15 or an M16 or an AK-47 to hunt deer.
Okay. This is true. But if you're gonna bring all of that other SCOTUS stuff into this conversation, we're gonna be here till midnight. So look,
Oh,
let's just make an agreement. Let's stick to the law and order about the documents for the rest
yeah,
of this.
but I'm sorry. I'm off.
Okay.
I'm
And
off course.
no. And I'm not chastising you, dude, because I'm with you. We've been following this. Like it should be a conversation. We just can't fit it in this one right now because it will become so big and so it will become too much. But basically, we're going to keep it to the law and order because, right, Mr. Willis, you are. It's the law, not a guideline. Okay. And I agree. And there was also some facts in here. I want to thank some people for actually giving us the actual facts on the matter. Mocking, you're right. In 78, Congress passed the Presidential Records Act. Since Nixon, records created by the press and his staff are presidential records that go to the archives. Absolutely everything does. And why? Because somebody got caught with their hand, like doing something they weren't supposed to do. So we put in practices to make sure that it didn't happen again. All right? That's why. That's explained through people not being affected by those laws and not wanting the laws that affect them to exist. Exactly. But the laws have to be for everybody. And I agree. And Mocking agrees with you, High. He says the owner is the American people. And I agree with that too. This act includes all presidential material. All. So let's be clear. Not just what he decided was good. Okay. The person removing the documents from where they should be is not the one who gets to decide what stays and what goes. There's already a process that stated that, and he doesn't become the exception to the rule. That is what this stream is about. No exception
And
to the
I
rule.
would have
Okay.
hate to have worked in that office and had to go through the trash every day just to unfold what was
Okay.
crumpled up and thrown in the trash. Oh, you gotta save this. Oh, you spit on it. Yuck.
Rodent's right. Do you believe that the average person should be able to own nuclear weapons? Do you? Anyone? I don't.
No.
Nope. Then you absolutely need a government. Mic drop. I agree with you. We are not saying we don't need a government. Absolutely, I'm not saying that. Okay. Bearded, thank you for getting on my hypocrisy train here. I appreciate you. This law doesn't affect me. It's okay for regulations there. This law does affect me, and it's not okay for regulation there. Exactly. Once it's made a law, whether we like it or not, it's for everyone. True. Whatever our opinion is of it. Okay. I know, Beaver. We know. Mm-hmm. It should be free, but we can't. It, free means no rules. No rules means anarchy. You cannot run a country without government. That's a fact. How much the government gets to say is another fact. Okay. We should weigh in on that. But we can't just take the rhetoric that no. We have to compromise, okay? Because it does take a government to run a country, and it takes people that honor that government to keep it running. We takes people who respect the office that they hold to follow the laws of that government. If they don't like the laws, here's the thing. They were in a position to change them. So do it. But don't say they don't apply to you. That is untenable. Okay? That just makes you a criminal. Period. That's a fact. You don't take the time to change the law that you don't want to abide by. You don't get into that process, whether you be the highest office in this country, the president, or the lowest little voter, like
Do
myself.
you know in some states the maximum speed you can drive is still 55? And in
Yeah.
a lot of states, the maximum speed you can drive is 75. I wonder why that is.
Mm-hmm. Nope, Spooky. I don't think anybody has said anything offensive. So everybody don't worry about that. Nobody has really said anything offensive. If I'm speaking on an issue, it's the issue and it's not to anyone indirectly. So please, we know that, okay? Mm. Mm. This is true.
Anyway, the
Mm.
point of all of this is that we have an ex-president who
Mhm.
took 30 boxes of documents that he
Mhm.
shouldn't have out of the White House.
Mhm.
He knew they were there. He knew they were top secret documents involved.
Mhm.
And instead of just handing them all back, when he was asked about it, he gave half back and said, that's all there is.
Mhm.
And then somebody within his own surroundings let
Mhm.
slip to the DOJ that, oh, there was more. And now we find that what was in the more
Mhm.
was the stuff that could have really gotten him in trouble
Mhm.
if he would have returned them in the first place. But he was trying to hide that stuff.
Well, I can understand being uncomfortable when they found out that he had them, but here's the thing. What I'm not gonna, you know what, Beaver? I'm not gonna, you can throw all the past issues you want at me. I told you clearly this is about law and order and not Trump. Believe it or not. But stop with the rhetoric and throwing all these other Democrats or whatever about me. I told you it's not about that. You can believe it or not. But I'm not going to stand for you acting like I am just being biased or that I am actually just being a hater, because I'm not. So stop, please. I'm going to ask you to respectfully stop throwing Hunter Biden at me and Pelosi and every other Democrat that's got a stain on them. That's not my responsibility. I'm speaking about law and order here. I don't care about the names. Can I make that any more clearer? I don't care about who.
And neither do I. I don't care.
And,
If it would have been Obama that had done this and they had found nuclear documents in anything that he had taken, I would have said he should be in jail.
Yeah. Don't throw what about as is me. Don't throw that what, but at me. If you think I'm being unintelligent and not making a point, then that's one thing. Because I am making a point, and that's why you're all upset. It's about law and order. It ain't about fucking Trump. It's about nobody being above the law. You can't argue that. So please, everyone stop deflecting back on me. It's not going to work. I got a tennis racket as big as my fucking room to shit that back at you. Okay? I am not going to stand for being told that I'm just some left-wing fucking mouthpiece. I'm not. I'm about as middle of the road as you can get. Law and order is law and order. It really... it disturbs me that you all think the issue is something else. It really does.
Bearded Heretic has a question for us.
He does, and I actually do. I think capitalism is the predominant cause of these people getting into power, because the 10% in our country rule everything, and that's the truth. If you don't have the money, you don't have a voice. They say it's about the people, and yet there are laws right now, and there are things being passed in SCOTUS that 70-80% of the people don't want, and they're doing it anyway. So yeah, how could we not see that? How could we not think that? That's
Let me
like
ask
right
the
in front of
chat.
our face. Yeah.
Let me ask the chat this question. In light of the most recent SCOTUS ruling,
Yes.
do you
Unfettered
think if a Muslim teacher started leading Muslim prayer times in their classroom, that teacher would still have their job?
They would not, because people have to follow the law, all the requirements. They're not allowed to do whatever the hell they want because they don't
Well,
want government to
let's
be
remember, the
involved with
SCOTUS
this and
has
that.
said that teachers have the right to pray on school grounds now.
Yes, they do.
So,
It's
but
as
if it
individual.
was a
Wait.
Muslim teacher praying 5 times a day or however many times a day that school would cover, would that
I don't
Muslim
know.
teacher still have their job?
Well, actually, I can speak on that. The way that passed SCOTUS, yes, they would, because they said the individual employee, that's what this case was about. Let's not make it bigger than it was.
No.
They said the individual employees were allowed to pray and do those prayers in front of children and other people. They didn't have to hide in a bathroom to do it anymore or whatever. Okay, that is what it was actually about. Okay, the original pending case, because come for me, people. I read that shit, boring as it fucking is. I read it, all 478 pages of it. Yes, I did. The original case all the way back. Okay, so it wasn't about allowing prayer in school as a general, like we're all going to assemble and pray now, and this is what we're going to do. What it said is we could not violate a person's right to practice their religion individually. And you know what? Hell to the yeah. Okay, I can go with that. But you have to allow it for everyone, which the scenario that you just said, Quiz, if that happens, then no, they're going to be right back at SCOTUS because they'll be violating what they just said if they don't let the Muslim put down a mat and pray.
Well, I didn't ask if the Muslim would take it up to the Supreme Court. I asked if the Muslim would still have a job after that.
Well, they might, because here's the thing. We are the most hypocritical about this kind of shit because they're passing this stuff for the minority. And they're really clear about it for their own personal minority beliefs. Okay, they don't really care about the masses. They're trying to make it like it's a bigger issue. And as soon as you use it to be the bigger issue, they're gonna cry. They're gonna cry foul, cry their freaking eyes out, and say that's not what we meant. We meant only Christian religion. We meant only Baptist, or we meant only this, or we meant only born again, or we meant only that. And then somebody else is going to fight with somebody else about the whole damn thing. But SCOTUS clearly said it was an individual right, which is it is in our Constitution. That whole thing about church and state was about all religion being accepted and not just one. Okay, it was about not being persecuted for the religion that you practice based on how you practiced it and where you did it. It was because the states were all practicing different religions by holds and groups. This is how we all celebrate. This is why we were over here from England deciding that we wanted our own religions, okay, and not have to do what they said. This is how it started, and it all started with religion.
Okay. Anyway, law and order. When you ask for law and order, and we try and talk law and order, then it becomes a different issue if we talk about something you don't agree with. But the law is the law. I don't care who it affects. If you want to change the law, if you think the Presidential Records Act is absolutely horrendous, change it. You know what? I know a certain congressman who thinks that the espionage law is absolutely ridiculous, although he only said it after Trump got caught, and he wants to repeal it now. Now, tell me, are we changing laws for the right reasons at this point?
No, because apparently that's the issue. Isn't that what this stream is supposed to be about? They had the opportunity. Let's be clear. The person, you don't want me to name, but yeah, it was Trump. He did it. Sorry, not sorry. He was president for 4 years. If he knew he wanted these documents, and he knew what he was going to do, he had the opportunity to change the laws that would affect him and put his ass against the warrant. Okay? Because he actually is the head of the country, and he knows that law and order exists. He does. But what does he do? He counts on rhetoric. He counts on towing that line that you all are going to act like it doesn't. But you know what? You have a brain. You know law and order exists. you know we all have to follow it. If any of you did anything like this, you would already be in a jumpsuit. We'd never hear from you again. We wouldn't know what happened to you. We
I don't
wouldn't know
think you
your
would even
name.
gotten a public trial. You would have gotten one of those private military trials, and they would have just shot you and buried you somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm telling
You wouldn't even been known. It had just been,
Right.
oh, well, we had missing nuclear
Because-
documents, and they were recovered. That's all we're going to
Okay.
tell you.
Okay, goes here. You want to hear the bad words that nobody wants me to say? Okay, and I'm just going to play devil's advocate here for a minute, because let me let me put this out here first. I don't actually believe that they should be charged with what I'm about to say. Okay, I'm not going to go down that route because I think it's ridiculous. Okay, but however, when you have the top classified documents in your presence against law in your actual possession, and they don't know what you're going to do with it, anybody else would be on Gitmo right now under treason charges. They wouldn't even ask questions. They fucking throw your ass away and ask the questions later. So please don't come like this is like we're just bashing. You know, like this is serious. This is law. That's the kind of documents that were there. Are you blind?
Yep.
Are you blind?
And
Okay. So because even if he didn't intend to do that, he put the whole damn country at risk of that happening. Right? So he's either the biggest fool on the planet or he's the most arrogant one. Either way, he wasn't protecting the people, which I don't
think we could say both,
his
actually.
job. Even as an ex-president, that should be his job. You want respect for the office? That's where the respect lies. If you held the office, when you leave the office, you still should have the respect for it.
And Spooky, just to let you know, the NWO is making a resurgence on the WWE. So if you want to go follow the WWE, you will be able to see some of the new or some of the old NWO there.
Oh God, how do we go there? I'm talking Law and Order, and you guys are talking wrestling.
Well, he brought up the NWO. I figured that's what he was talking about.
Mm-hmm. No,
Nitro World.
I don't know if that's it. No, it's the National Organization for Women to Head the New World Order. I don't know. It could be anything at this point, right, Jinx? You know? I'm telling you.
Well,
anyway,
either way.
No, all right. To everybody that is sending me messages, I haven't read any of them. I see you're all there. I care that you're all there and you cared enough to message me, but I didn't take a breath to read it. I'll read it after the show. Okay? Period.
But back to our Law and Order concerning a certain ex-president. You know, it's bad enough what he has accomplished on January 6th and the big lie that he keeps presenting and he keeps pushing. But this is just strike 3 to me.
Well,
I mean,
in regards to law, there were other things. Yes.
This is a biggie. I mean, I'm sorry, but the man knew he wasn't supposed to take them out of the White House, take them out of the safe zone. I think whoever allowed it to happen should be fired because they didn't stand up to him. I think the DOJ should be restructured again because they didn't immediately go and retrieve them. They played this, well, let's negotiate. I'm sorry. Right. You wouldn't negotiate with me if I had this box in my home and you knew it. You just kick my door in, take me away, take the box away, and that would be the end of me.
Right. And
I mean,
the point, right?
Let's treat him like he should be treated. He took not just presidential records. If we're talking about a menu that he wrote and it should have gone to the National Archives, that's one thing. But he took nuclear documents with him. And even if no one but him read them, or even if they were just in a folder and they never got opened, it's still wrong.
How does that kind of like blows my mind that anyone looking at this situation and knows that those were actually stamped top secret and classified. They were actually stamped classified, that they don't see that there must have been a process that should have been followed here.
And
And that
what's
it
more
wouldn't
amazing
be
is
an
when you
and it
think
wouldn't
about it,
be an
the
issue.
people who packed those boxes, okay? If I would have seen something like that and I was in charge of packing his boxes, I'm pretty sure I would have taken it and said, can he really take this with him? I would have given it to someone to check on it. I wouldn't have just packed it,
Well,
which
he didn't.
then
Yeah.
makes me wonder if he didn't just slip them in himself.
And this is it.
Sorry.
If he really thought that, I don't know if he did that himself. And I think that maybe perhaps he thought that he was following some kind of process that it was okay or it was taken care of, whatever. But when he found out months later that it wasn't, and then he fought against it, okay, and then he only returned half of it and kind of hid that he still had the other half because he didn't want anybody to know he still had the other half. When he actually, at that point, this is where I actually have a serious problem. At the point where they discovered months later that this happened, because if you think this just happened, it's wrong. It's been going on since way back. Okay, there's been negotiations going on. That's all coming to light. That he wants everybody to talk about it. The ex-president Trump himself said he wants us all to talk about it. So there's that. I heard him several times in the last couple of days say that. So I'm talking about it. He went through the process. He let them know they approached him because they knew he had the boxes. He gets into a conversation with them with legal representation and everything. This was all done legit. There were lawyers involved. There was protocol involved. Nobody slammed him. Nobody put cuffs on him as soon as he did it or any of that stuff. Nobody even used the T word. Okay. It was all behind the scenes. Respect was given that it might have been an accident. They actually did approach it in a respectful manner. It was all, nobody knew about it. Okay. They wanted to get the boxes back. That's what they wanted first. They wanted to secure the information. They wanted the National Archives to remain intact. They wanted everything put back where it should be and just discuss the matter. They admitted it through negotiation. He gave them half of the material back. The stuff that he decided to keep was really highly ranked. At the point that he knew, at that point, there is no way you have the defense of saying you didn't know you had documents that you shouldn't have under the current law that exists. There's no way you didn't know that. You're sitting across the table from them, negotiating on what you have and not. And you know that there's a whole bunch of other boxes you just put aside. Please, nobody's an idiot. There's no way you didn't know. Ignorance is not a defense. Okay, there's no way you didn't know. They chose to do something with those documents. They were very high valued. What it was, I'm not going to speculate on. All I know is they had an opportunity to turn this shit around for it not to get this bad. And they did not do it. They could have returned those documents, filed affidavits or whatever they wanted to get copies of them back if what he wants is the information to prove whatever political point he wanted to prove for running for office or whatever, to say he knew whatever. Okay, he had a process to follow that he could do that legally. What he chose to do instead was put himself above the law and disregard it. That's the issue. That's how you go to a grand jury and get a warrant. That's how you prove the case. There's no denying the fact that that happened, that he chose to ignore the law when presented and explained. He could have presented before that he wasn't really sure and he thought he did everything right. But when he was told he didn't, and this was what we got to do, he chose to disregard it. So if anybody else on the planet had that happen, they would have to face the consequences. So tell me why he doesn't. Why I just think you're wrong. I'm sorry, you're on the wrong side of the issue if you think he doesn't have to explain why he feels entitled to not follow the law. A law that he represented, a law that he had opportunity to change and didn't.
A law that he even added more penalty to, because he thought the penalty for the Presidential Records Act was too small. So
I'm
he
gonna.
had his friends in Congress beef it to from 1 to 5 years. He knew that this law existed.
Mhm. Okay, this is true. I'm gonna put this up. Welcome, Brittany. Nice to see you. Um, Republicans are making this political and thinking it will help them for midterm elections in November. Yes, they are. But I'm kind of like, that's why I was pointing at the hypocrisy. The Law and Order party is actually using this to say it's okay if you're president to break the law. Like, yeah, okay. You don't see that that's funny, and you're gonna actually come at me for laughing about that, then go ahead. But that's freaking funny as hell. That's their talking point.
And this is
That's their
why I
talking
hate
point.
politicians.
Like, I mean,
And I
that's
said
kind of funny.
politicians. I didn't say Republicans and I didn't say
Right.
Democrat.
Just
I think
politicians
we
in
should clear
general,
out the
historically.
whole lot of them and
Oh,
just
God.
vote in a whole new group.
Yeah, now we're talking
Because
Fantasy Island. I think we should just run it like an episode of Survivor, to tell you the truth. For hell. I
let's
don't know.
just bring the purge in.
Well, I did actually, didn't I?
You sure
yeah,
did.
I sure did. I'm sorry. Yes, I went there. It was funny. I did get a
Well,
few people upset, but hell, I'll own it. Sorry, not sorry. Really, I'm not. Okay, Kino, I heard this, and I'm not so sure this is true. Because first of all, it's coming out of Russia, and who the hell's going to believe anything that comes out of Russia? I mean, yeah, it's like. I'll tell you this: if it's coming out of Russia, news media, it's because they want us to know about it. Okay, they want us. It's the story they want us to believe. Okay, because
and
nothing
it's also a way to deflect our attention off of Ukraine.
right, because there's nothing that's coming out of there that's not sanctioned by Putin. Okay, and so here you go. But he showed the files to Moscow already. The media outlets in Russia told on him. Of course they did, because they're bragging. They've been bragging. Let's be clear. They've been bragging since he ran for office that they had him in his pocket. That's what the news media in Russia talks about all the time. That our president was in the pocket of Putin.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. But, hey, I'm just going to say that's a rumor, because actually that's coming from Russia, and I'm not going to believe anything they say. But, hey, that's, so I'm not going to believe the other stuff either. I can't really believe it because it doesn't present to me as a fact when it's coming out of a propaganda machine. That isn't really known for giving the facts in their media. They are all, if they are the facts, they've been sanctioned and approved by their leadership to be put out there. To me, that's not actual reporting. But, there you go. Anyway.
Hey, Claire, can I ask a question?
I don't think I could stop you. Well, go ahead.
Are you doing another stream tomorrow?
I am. I hope it's a hell of a lot more fun than this one. Although this was quite
How do
entertaining.
people get to know what streams you're doing?
Because Quiz will remind me to do the YouTube things, because I'm very, very bad at that.
Do they hit the like, subscribe, and then the notification button?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. But, nobody likes to do that. Who the hell here in America likes to
There's
follow
another
rules?
button down there that I don't understand. It says join. What does that button do?
Oh, that'll make you a member and make your name all green and pretty. And
A member of what? A member of YouTube?
A member of my YouTube channel. It will give you some one-on-one interaction with me. It will give you access to my Discord, where there's a lot of fun things to do.
Wait, you have a Discord server? How do people get involved in your Discord server?
They join the membership or the Patreon. You need to stop. Like, I know
You even have a Patreon?
Okay. Yes, I do. I am just a money-hungry fool who donates all the money. Yes, I do. I have a Patreon and a membership. And what I do is invite people into my creative Discord. It's a creative library of small creators, members, Patreon members, and YouTube mobs, creative collaborators from all over the YouTube, all different areas in there, and we have a lot of fun. We have game night, which Quiz is the master of.
There's a game night? Wow.
There's a game night. Yes, it keeps sometimes there's more than one. Yes, there's a move. Here's the deal. There's a music room. There's a books room. We talk about actual issues instead of people. We have nice conversations. And sometimes I'm up all night watching them play Warhammer or something else, in a group Discord call. But we hang. Yes, we hang. Yeah.
And sometimes, John, naked men.
Yes, although I not completely naked, I'll say that. There are rooms in that Discord that are marked NSFW because, Quiz likes his shirtless boys. I'm serious, he does.
I'm the only one who likes shirtless men in that room.
That's not true.
Okay.
That's not true. But we're not going to go there because, hey, it's just not all about that. I know everybody wants to
Right.
think it's all about that.
Right. I mean,
It's
you've
not.
got a Discord server, a YouTube
Mhm.
channel, a Patreon, and everyone can join.
Oh, and I have a group of trolls. I have a haters club too. Did you know that? Yeah, I do.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Apparently.
A haters club.
Yes,
How do I
I
get
do.
onto that one? No, I'm
I don't know. I'll send you some links, man. The sock names are getting good too, boys. Those sock names. Oh, yeah. Let me tell you. How about you read my DMs for me after this stream? Give me a break. Yeah, I'll send
Yeah,
them to
just
you.
send them to me. I don't mind.
Yeah. Anyway,
I'll even
I
respond for you if you want.
I would actually hope that you respond the same way I do. I
I'm
don't.
sure that my responses will be a little bit more explicit than yours.
Yeah, true. Yeah, true. Actually, my actual response is not response because it's not worth it. Like, you don't even come at me with your real name, which means you don't actually have anything real to say. That's how I look at it. If you
That's
ain't
true.
real, if you ain't standing behind it with yourself, step off. You ain't worth my time.
Hey,
Seriously.
did you know that they're supposed to be starting up the January 6th commissions again, either later this month or into September?
Oh, aren't you looking forward to that?
And
Maybe.
I think
Hey,
we,
oh, wait. That gives Loud like 2 weeks to create at least 100 socks to come with us. Like, get busy, dude.
well, you know, what Loud should do is create his own YouTube channel and stream the commission meetings, and then
Mhm.
he can have his own say or their own say about what the
Oh,
commission's doing.
no. Then you have to actually stand behind what you say and actually, hmm. Nope,
Oh,
I don't see that happening. But hey, prove me wrong. I'll be there. I'm the first one to say that everybody on YouTube has a right to say whatever. Even the people that really don't like enjoy their content, or I think it's whatever. I still think they have an absolute right to do it. It's their channel. Let them do what they want. You know. I do lose a little respect for the people that come in and just try to hijack things a little bit. That's not being really respectful. But hey, people act within their abilities. This I'm learning. And I can't really expect that much from, everyone. Not everybody's going to take the high road and be respectful or, the way I might approach it. And, somebody like our little troll there, that's going to happen. They got what they wanted, though. They got attention, they got to disrupt everything, they got to get me a little heated because I was really trying to be very unbiased. And I do get a little when you refuse to recognize what's right in front of your face. And I do get a little annoyed by that kind of stuff. I really do. But but hey, they came here, so it's their own damn fault. You step into my chat, you get what you get. That's it. Like, you came here, I didn't drag you here, right? Did I bring
that, well,
anybody
that,
here? Do I don't
well,
have any,
besides Charlie and John, no, we didn't drag anybody here.
I don't even, believe me. That's all rumor. I didn't tie any of them up. I do have handcuffs. I do not use them on the chat members. I don't even use them on the members of the Discord.
Well, I let Charlie out of the basement so he could come here.
Mhm,
So.
mhm. Yeah, it really is, Charlie. It's middle school for like adults, although I use the word loosely, adult, I do. Um, and Lisa, hey, I noticed you were in the chat making comments. It's been a while since you've been here, so welcome. I hope it wasn't too rough for you with the trolls. We don't normally have trolls, but whenever you speak on issues that matter, you're going to get people like that, I guess, because they don't want you to talk. That's seems to be the main thing, is they just want to disrupt you from actually talking about it, but it ain't gonna work. Hmm. Robski, because you look cute in it. It's the one with the studs and the flashing lights, and I like the way you look in it, Robski. So please keep it on. And just for the rest of YouTube, in case the chat gets missing, that's what I'm talking about. He wants to know why he's wearing a shot collar. There you go.
And
Okay.
please remember, Rodsky, that we did put those leather
Oh,
shorts and
mm.
halter for you to wear. So Just
If
whenever you
this
get the chance.
Spooky, I hope you don't mean me, because of course I'm not. How could I be? And for any of you in the chat, if you think I was upset with you individually, I'm not. I'm not. When I get upset, if you hear and you listen to my words, it's about the freaking issue. Even when it came to the troll, okay, it was about the issue they were trying to put out there. That is what upset me. That they were trying to put that as the forefront issue instead of what was really. Not the fact, them, although it is kind of ironic they can't come in here as a real person. I mean, hey, there is that, but it's about the issue. And the issue here is law and order, and nobody's above it. Not even an ex-president. Nixon wasn't above it, right? And
No,
I
he
do
wasn't.
believe, and let's just they
Although,
want me to.
although I will say, there were a lot of Republican people who are doing their best to backpedal out of the Nixon thing too. I mean,
Oh, I'm sure they would. They don't want anybody, because they're not my guys. Okay. All right, let's example. All right, I'm gonna go back. Let's go back to the 80s. Let's go back to Clinton. That's a Democrat, right? Okay.
yep, that's a
Y'all,
Democrat
yep.
who, as far as, hey, look, I don't think Clinton.
That
I
man
don't think
lied, and I
Clinton.
was all for impeachment. That man lied.
I don't think
Okay?
Clinton should
Yeah.
have been charged for
He lied.
having sex in the White
I think
House.
he should be charged for lying about.
He should have been
sex
charged for
because-
lying,
right?
and he should have been impeached for it. I'm
Exactly,
sorry, he should have been.
tried exactly, because it's not what he did; it's how he did it. Okay, and I and I was all for that. And there you go. That was a Democrat. Like, so there, like F you, whoever's out there saying that I'm just on one side. I'm not. It's about the law and order. It's about how he handled it. He didn't handle that as a mature. I think he handled it like a man caught with his pants down, the way I would expect. But when you're the president, you've got to follow the rules. Sorry. Okay, so I was all for him coming under the microscope with that. And I was even for it when they investigated the Clintons for insider trading. And everybody else, a whole slew of Democrats went down for that one. And I was right there saying, yeah, you can't do that. That's against the law. You can't do that. It's against the law. So when I tell you it's about law and order, I mean it. Republican or Democrat. I don't give a flying, monkey.
Yeah, the only ones we want to protect are the independents. Oh, wait,
no,
I didn't say that.
I don't even want to. No, if you're a lying scumbag independent, I'm after you too. Hey, you like that? So watch it, quiz. Watch it. Watch your P's and Q's. It's like, anyway, I'm just making fun. Hey,
I need
Aaron,
to go clean up my mess.
You think you do? I threw so much shit off my bed in the last 20, in the last hour. It's not even funny. I got, I had to let the dog out of the room because he didn't like the tone in my voice. And I'm not apologizing for it. So, by the way, everybody, those of you that like me, those of you that don't, do not jump in my DMs and tell me I should have did better. I already know that. I shouldn't have let it bother me. But it does. Disregard of the law fucking pisses me off. People coming in my chat trying to tell me they know what the fuck I'm talking about when they're not even listening pisses me the fuck off. Sorry. Not sorry. That's the way it is.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry that, if people don't believe that Trump should be held accountable for what he did, and then come in here and say, well, Biden's doing this and that, and,
Mm-hmm. Listen,
I've got bad news for you. The
Mhm.
Supreme Court has ruled that you cannot charge a sitting president. There's nothing we can do to him right now. Wait till he gets out of office.
John, this is why we're friends. This is why we get along. And I'm going to end this stream on this one at an hour and 45. Okay, because this is the way we want to go out, right, Quiz? Listen, it's so weird when people go into a stream with the attitude of stop talking about the title of the stream and talk about what I want you to, instead of just searching for a stream on the topic that they wish to engage in. I get it. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Why come here and do that when you knew what it was going to be about? I think I was clear when you heard the Purge music on my advertisement. The New World Order. You knew where I was coming from. This is about law and order, okay? Definitely. And he's not above the law. And I'm sorry, if you make yourself out to be a fool and a clown, then I'm going to laugh. I'm going to laugh loud. And you don't want me pointing at it. Cover your ugly ass. That's all I got to say. Really. You want to?
You
You got
don't
something to
want
say?
somebody calling it out, then don't do it or don't get caught.
Don't get caught. Like, do better. Do better. You know. I know. Stop! Oh, come on, Icarus! Don't even. You missed all the fun, dude. I had a troll that came back repeatedly. Like, I think we were up to we were going down, right? 9, 8, 7, 6. I think we
10.
were on number 2 before they quit. They didn't even give us number 1. We weren't worthy of all 9. We were only worthy of 8 socks. Yeah. No, I'm not sad. If anybody thinks I'm sad or upset, please don't even. I'm not.
But if you do think she's sad and upset,
No,
I
Beaver, I'm
suggest
not
you either
calling you a
join
troll.
you join her YouTube channel or her Patreon, and that way you can go into her Discord and tell her not to be sad.
That's right. And listen, Beaver, I'm not calling you a troll. Nobody will tell you I called you a troll. I was talking about that other account that used all those socks to come in. You know what, Beaver? I give you mad respect. You came in here as you. You and I know each other. You came in here as a real person and spoke on your issue. And I give you props for that. Make no mistake. I have nothing against what you said or did in this chat at all. Okay, except for trying to get me to talk outside of my stream while I'm live. Like, I can't really do that. But yeah, that's it. I got no problem, so don't anybody think I do, because I don't. I have no problem with Beaver or anything that they said. They have absolutely every right to say whatever they want. And they did try to keep it as respectful as they could, even with everybody else disagreeing with them. They did. And they aren't even coming for me. They tell me repeatedly they respect my issue, and I'm trying to re-clarify what my issue is. It's not that it's Trump. It's that it's law and order, and no one is above it. And I'm sick of the rhetoric out there that we can't do what we need to do to protect law and order. That's all. Yeah, right. And I get it. And so that should just be clear with everybody, because I think if you look at what happened during this stream, this hot mess of a stream, that, oh my gosh. You know, the funny part, Quiz, is that this hour and 45 minutes is going to be talked about in our Discord for weeks.
Well,
because you know why? I'll be looking at it, trying to do better. And I just ask all of you to do the same, including our little friend Loud, loud number to be selected. That's how I will refer to you from now on.
Loud X.
Loud number
X.
to be selected. I'll speak it directly to you on YouTube, because I know you're going to watch this later to see if I did. So I will give you that. Yes, you got me to say it again, your name, and that you disrupted the stream. But I just was going to ask you to go back and see how you could have approached it better, and we could have had a real conversation. And I also invite you to come as yourself and come have a library chat with me and tell people about your position on this. Would you like to? Because I'll give you the space, because I can stand behind what I stand for and where my opinion is. And I will. And I offer you the opportunity to do the same. And no, everybody, don't call in the doctors. I am fine. I do mean what I'm saying. I would actually have that conversation with them. That's how I am. They have a right to say it, but they have to say it clear and concise and respectfully. Come have a chat. Come sit in one of those library chairs. Let's talk about it. You got the stones.
Well, with that,
yeah, I know. I'm going to hear
I
about
think
that
we should
too.
play some music.
Oh, you want to go out with the music?
We came in with the music.
Yeah, we did, didn't we?
Either that, or we could go out with, something else, like maybe something on
wait,
Twitter,
oh
Instagram.
man, don't tell me. Oh, I got rid of the music. Hold on. Yeah, I've made room for something else. But, nope, I found it. You're not
You
safe.
found it.
Wait, but first, oh man. Potato does not like to load after an hour or so.
Yeah, well, it's been more than an hour now, honey. Ma and Pa Kettle, brought to you by the Trump investigation. Hey, Ma.
Okay, hold on. This is gonna, all right. They're probably gonna take this stream down because it is music, to tell you the truth. But,
Oh, then don't play it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna because they might make me clip the front off, and if I put it on the end, they're gonna make me clip the end too.
Yeah,
So
well,
anyway, rewind to the beginning.
yeah, yeah. Just everybody right now, rewind to the beginning and listen to the music,
Because that's what
and
we
we
meant
won't end
to
the
do.
broadcast for
Yeah.
45 seconds. How's that?
Yeah. No, actually, we're not going to sing it or anything or do anything of that. But actually, no, I did. I was being a snarky ass bee, and you know what? Fine, I was. I did think this whole thing was humorous. It does have a serious issue about law and order, and I am serious about that. I really, really am. Okay, but the whole circus of it, the whole media part of it is fucking, a bunch of ass, a bunch of freaking clowns with their asses hanging out. And yeah, I'm laughing about it because everybody's dancing around like this is such a freaking, I don't know, a three-ring circus. Absolutely. That's all I can think of. Everybody's got their own take on it. Everybody says that this one's doing this to this one, and this isn't real, and that isn't real, and this is it. But it's all just, if you think that he didn't want it out there, you're wrong. Because it didn't have to be out there. It didn't.
Nope.
When they started to deal with this, it could have been handled privately. So
Yeah,
please,
he brought it on himself.
please, yeah, open your eyes, man. Just open your eyes. It wouldn't be out there like this. It wouldn't be an issue if they weren't trying to use it. If they weren't trying to make it bigger than it is, because it's not just one side or the other making it bigger. It's both. Okay, clearly, it's both. Okay, thank you. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, 9, 10. You had, wow. We must have really hit a nerve, Quiz, because that person came in here with 11 socks.
Well, maybe he was just horny.
I don't know. Maybe he likes my.
You're not even going to let that go. You're just going to let that one slide.
I am. Well, hell, it's one of our voices in a box of tissues. That's all I got to say. Maybe he's got issues. I don't know. Let me leave them with this. I hope they work it out to the satisfaction of themselves. There you go. I wish them well. There you go. There you go. And on that, thank you, everybody who hung out as long as you did to hear us just like go bollocks on this whole damn thing. Thank you to those who tried to keep it respectful and talk about real issues, and occasionally we did. So thanks, and I hope I haven't scared too many of you away. Nope, I didn't get any sex bots today. Oh, you think I lost it, Quiz? I'm gonna have to work on it.
Well, I'm here, and I'm kind of a sex bot.
No, they didn't say sex pot. They said sex bot, like B-O-T.
So die, but I'm kind of a sex bot myself. Just asking to be clear.
Oh, God. Okay. Don't forget to sign your harassment waivers on the way out, everybody. And on that, I will put this stream to an end. Quiz, thanks again, and thanks for the rodeo. Yeah, and
it's always fun to be in rodeos.
Yeah. Thanks for joining me in this circus, in this rodeo, and not quitting on me when it got hot. That was cool. And thank you all for who stayed, and those of you who stayed through the whole thing, even when it got to be a hot mess. Thank you very much. I appreciate your support. And let me do the YouTube thing. Don't forget to like, share, comment on the video. Share it with people who might want to watch me making an ass out of myself tonight. They might enjoy it. And then remind them to subscribe, because to keep me here, that's what you got to do. Okay. And tomorrow night, we will have mayhem. If you thought this was a little much, come watch mayhem. And for those of you that are always telling me that mayhem happens a little too late, well, I had an epiphany. It's always midnight somewhere, right? So we're going to be moving mayhem from different days of the week to different times of the week. And tomorrow will be the first one. It will be on Inquisitor Hump Day. Yeah, we're having mayhem on Hump Day. And we're going to have it at 7 o'clock Eastern time, which is dinner time here in the States in most places, or after work. But it's also midnight in the UK. Yay!
That's
So
right.
there you go. I found
Hey, is
midnight
anything
somewhere.
happening after that?
We'll probably play games if anybody's wait, no, I thought games was today, actually.
Is it today?
It's today. Games is today. If you're in
Either
my
way, we're
Discord,
playing games sometime, either today or tomorrow. And the only way you're going to be able to participate is if you're part of the team.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Nope. I'm just saying. Yep. You can be a member. You can get in there. Or you can come do a stream with me if you don't want to. I'm not going to make anybody spend cash. If you don't, come do a stream with me. You get in there that way too. There's more than one way. No. Anyway, on that, y'all done quiz?
I'm done.
Final, yeah, no final statement over.
Don't ever challenge Merrick Garland to release your search warrant ever again. Just don't do it.
He did do it, didn't he?
Was not exactly what he expected to have happen.
No, I think he did. He actually called for it because he knew it was going to happen anyway. I mean, the man knows how to work the press. I will give him that. I think he really did.
Then he's an idiot.
Well, yeah, I don't know. He's the most cleverest idiot. Like, we all do make fun like he's stupid, but, he also got to be president and he's still working that press. So how dumb, I mean, he does have something. I won't say it's massive intelligence. Let's just say he can work it. He can work it. Mm-hmm. And don't tell the host of the show what to do. Yeah, because I get cranky, don't I, Charlie Dinks? Yeah. Well, that's okay. Hey, dog, we're out, though. It was nice of you to come. I hope you catch the replay. I can't wait to hear what everybody has to say about that. I will listen. I promise. All right. On that, the thank yous going up. Thank you again, Quiz, for tolerating.
Thank you, Claire.
My rant, and everybody else in the chat, thank you too. And so I will see some of you tomorrow, or some of you in Discord, and the rest of you out on the YouTube streets. Stay safe. Okay, bye.